Hello and welcome to the GROMcast. We are Grommet Games, and we're going to be talking about some topics that are trending on the internet today, tomorrow, yesterday, all around, forever, forever and ever, for the rest of my life. Probably, hopefully, not really. Okay, let's start. We're going to start with talking about VR, virtual reality, which is a big topic because the Vive just released. What's your guys' thoughts on the VR?
Well, at least I haven't read much about the Vive other than I've seen some videos of people playing like Pictionary on it, which I thought was really cool. I
Pictionary,
mean,
how does that work?
they would use there's like an app to where you can draw in a 3D space, so like it'll track where you're using those two brushes
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
things.
Yeah, those controllers act as brushes, and you basically they had like a game where they would get like a word like any other Pictionary game, and they just have to draw it in that 3D space, and they had like a TV up that was showing what the person was seeing, and they just had to guess what it was, and it's a little bit more interesting trying to draw in a 3D space
Yeah.
and guess in a 3D space.
I feel like that's going to be like the next thing. You know how like you got like the people who are like middle aged now, they're like struggling to use like the not middle aged but necessarily, but like older people are struggling to use current technology. I think that's what I'm
Mhm.
gonna be like because I think about trying to draw in a 3D space and it's like. So like
I don't know
when my
about
kids are
that.
gonna be like,
I mean, it
this
sounds
is
like
like
an
the
awesome
easiest
idea.
thing in the world. We're just whipping this on. I'm gonna be like, you crazy kids, you're 3D drawing and you're flying in the airplanes.
No, I mean,
I'll
if
be
this is the next thing, then I mean, I'm gonna try my best to understand it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll be there in the VR threads, putting giant dicks everywhere.
VR
So
threads. It's gonna be
yeah.
3D
a
dicks.
VR 4chan.
3D.
Yes, that's what's gonna happen. I'm
Make
just
'em
gonna
in
be
3D.
drawing. I'm just gonna be drawing giant 3D dicks all over the place, but not really. That's
But
gonna
like,
be
if
my
you're
old
gonna
man
do it,
persona.
go the whole 9 yards. Do details.
I don't know
Just draw a
about that.
giant dick, but in great detail.
Give it
And
lots of veins.
didn't Valve release in conjunction with the Vive? Didn't they release that Portal type game?
Yeah, they released a.
It was called like the
I read
Lab,
it
I
was a
believe.
series of mini games. I don't know exactly what it is or anything.
Yeah, it's
but
called the Lab.
in one of the reviews I read, they said that it was the one of the highest quality games that there is right now,
I'd assume as much.
which is understandable. It's like a first party developer coming out with their thing as opposed to third parties. Especially on
Yeah.
a new technology, it's hard to get right, and that's basically a lot of reviews have been saying that's bad about VR right now. Is most of the games aren't really that great or that fleshed out or anything.
It's
Which-
uncharted territory.
Yeah.
I mean, just when like touchscreen phones were coming out, like remember all those crappy apps that were coming out? It took like years and years for them to perfect like
Yeah.
what is good on that or in the functionality of a phone, like Angry Birds, stuff like that. Like games like Angry Birds Cut the Rope, things that like require you to use your fingers and touch and
Doodle
do
jump.
like specific commands. Doodle jump. I
Doodle
guess yeah,
jump.
that was more of like using the
Mhm. Accelerometer.
using the accelerometer in it to figure out where you are, and yeah. But I mean, it's an interesting new world we're in to where these VR games are going to be coming out, and I mean, and it also is interesting to me at least, that Valve is releasing a game. I mean, they don't really release games anymore. It's
Yeah,
just
they're
all
not really.
I know, right?
But
I was excited.
I think they wanted to impress like investors and stuff and really sell their thing.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
if they really wanted to sell it, you know what they would have released? Half-Life 3.
For VR only. I think that would be
Yes.
an outrage. That would
It's
be an
it's a
outrage.
movie. It's a movie.
Do you know how many HTC Vives would have been sold if they would have said Half-Life 3 is a launch title?
Like a million.
Probably quite a few,
Yeah,
especially
probably a
the
lot.
Vive.
Exactly. But I mean, it's interesting. The Oculus, though, there's been some controversy with the Oculus here.
With their stealing your info.
It's not really stealing, though, since
I
you
haven't
signed the
read about it.
contract saying
Well, they're
It's-
taking it then.
they're collecting it is more of the perfect is the more better term, I guess. Because I mean, Facebook does the same shit. I mean, it is Facebook. Oculus owns Facebook, but
Mhm.
when you have a Facebook, they can collect your info. It's been a well-known thing for a while, but people just don't really know it, nor do they care about it.
I remember
I'm
that,
pretty sure they
that,
can collect your info anyways. It's just Facebook.
There's like a post that went around on there that was like, to let Facebook know in this post that they can't take my information. It's like, yeah, that's gonna
Oh,
stop them.
those
I
Copy pastas.
formally say that I'm not that Facebook
I
can't
do
take
not
my
consent
info.
for them to take my information, even though I'm using their website and agreed to their terms and conditions.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. But anyway, like it's been a thing that I've known for a while, but it's just kind of shady that they're doing it with the Rift. That it's basically the software
when
that
Facebook bought it, that was basically the thing. Like, oh, welcome to stealingyourinformation.com.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, the way that it's set up right now is basically, from what I've read, is that there's a app that you have to have on your PC to where it detects the Rift and you can use it for stuff. But that application also comes bundled with the fact that that application takes your information, like your interactions, cookies, anything basically. It can take anything you do while using the Rift, and it becomes something that Facebook can use and sell to third-party companies.
Nowadays, what doesn't take your information that you put your information on? I mean, let's be honest.
Minecraft.
The bigger thing I saw with the Rift was they found in the terms and conditions anything made within within using the Rift becomes basically Oculus and Facebook's property to use and sell with on their own accord.
I didn't see that. All I saw was that anything you do while using it, like any information, it becomes theirs to use and sell. I didn't see anything about any game or anything using their SDK becomes theirs.
Oh, we're talking about dev kit stuff? Is that what we're talking about? Like,
Yeah,
they can just sell whatever they want?
Basically, what Mike's trying to say is that that anything made using an Oculus dev kit automatically becomes their property if they want to.
Well, no, made within the
development
in it.
kit.
Yeah, it's weird what it was.
What do you mean within it?
I think they mean
Yeah.
like in-game assets. Or
Yeah, in-game assets.
That's probably the
So they can
term
just
you're
steal
looking for.
your stuff and then... when it's
In-game
not
assets? Do you mean like if you draw a doodle of like cloud or something, it's theirs then? That doodle is theirs?
You can't even doodle on theirs, though. They don't have the fun hand controllers.
Exactly.
So though the Rift does not claim any ownership rights in or to your user content unless otherwise specified, they do have written rights to be able to use, copy, display, store, adapt, publicly perform, and distribute such user content in connection with the services. By signing the terms of service when use the device, you also grant the company full permission to sublicense this ability to anyone of their choosing.
Sounds fun.
So basically,
I'm not buying one.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna... If I get a VR, it's probably not gonna be the Oculus.
It'd be the
so that
Vive.
sounds like Oculus can just market mods basically.
Another VR system that caught my eye was the Fove. Do you guys know about that one?
No, not really.
No.
It has it tracks your eyes, so like you can like look around in the game and like characters in the game will like make eye contact with you and stuff, and you can aim with your eyes, and it also allows the system to render more detail in places that you're looking and less detail in places that you aren't looking. So it makes it like more efficient and stuff. I don't know if that would make it more efficient.
So it allows for like a field of view kind of thing.
Yeah. Like depth of field and stuff like that. It can make that. It tracks your. It seemed really cool. And like if I wasn't gonna get the Vive, I'd probably get that one depending on how it turns out. That one's still earlier in than the other two.
Mhm.
I would probably get the Vive just for the fact that I can draw 3D dicks.
But I mean, you won't be able to get any of the above basically till like forever because there's a wait list.
Yeah, well,
and they're
that's
probably
to be
expensive as
expected.
shit.
It's not as bad as the wait list for the Tesla 3 where you're not going to be able to get one till 2020 probably, but
Well, I think
still
anyone who
bad.
doesn't have anyone who's like us and doesn't have like billions of dollars to just chuck at random things, they're not going to be getting a VR anytime soon because everyone who's going to do this should do the sensible thing and just wait for it to get more or less inexpensive or die out. Because that's basically what's going to happen. It's going to get really popular and it's going to become cheap and more efficient and just work better and be better. Or it's just going to be a fad and burn away and then you're really just going to have a novelty item.
But I need to play Yuki Theater in VR, Tom.
I
need
need to draw 3D dicks.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm excited about 3D hentai.
I mean, but the way that like PlayStation is doing it is they're trying to make it cheaper, I guess, so you don't have to wait, which is nice. I mean, it seems interesting. I mean, PlayStation's got the most first-party titles that are going to be coming out and most launch titles for the VR space. It's just, it's not going to be as powerful as the other headsets, obviously.
Well, it's
And
going to
you
be attached to a less powerful system too, unless they integrate it to PC.
The PlayStation 4.5.
Yeah, I just forgot about that.
That's supposedly why they're doing that. One of the reasons why is to be able to render stuff in VR better. Because I mean,
makes sense,
that would make a lot of sense. But I mean, speaking about the PlayStation, recently it had a giant firmware update.
Yeah,
and
which I haven't done yet.
I mean, I tried it out today, and the connection was really, really bad.
Let's step back a second. What are you talking about? You're talking about the remote play, right?
The remote play.
Yeah, okay.
The remote play from your PC to your PS4. All you have to do is plug in a DualShock 4 controller to a USB port, and it auto detects your PS4 on your network. And basically, I have my PS4 running over Wi-Fi, and I have my computer hooked up through Ethernet, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably have to put my PS4 in through Ethernet if I even wanted it to be decent, but it was no.
Yeah, when I saw that, I knew. I mean, there's basically two reasons why I just don't care. One is my PlayStation is right next to my computer, so they're like I have no reason to stream.
Mine's like right over there.
And two,
yeah.
I already know that almost all streaming technologies right now are not really playable in like a format that you want to play. Like if you want to play like a slow-paced puzzle game, then maybe you'll be okay. But if you want to play like Bloodborne or like any other action game or any speed games, you just can't really do it. It's not really possible. It's not an enjoyable experience.
You just don't have the bandwidth, and the technology is not far enough to a point where the streaming is seamless.
Yeah.
Like I tried to open up a game, and it was just artifacting all over the place, and it was just bad overall.
Yeah, that's basically how I tried it with my Vita when I first got it, and I was like, "This is a neat feature, but I'm never going to use this because it's too far behind." Like there was a noticeable input lag.
Yeah, the input lag wasn't that bad, because I mean it basically is using the controller directly to the like PlayStation, but like it like the way that it was like showing up on the screen, it was lagging behind a little bit. Like the buttons would work perfectly on time, but the screen would take forever to catch up with it, and it would artifact. That's basically what I figured out was bad. And they also did a few other things with the software update, supposedly like allow you to stream music from a USB. And like,
did you read the thing? Because I read that in the article it said you had to change your settings. Did you do all that? Did you go in the settings?
I did not change the settings to like 720p.
Yeah, because it said it was defaulting to 540 or something.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was artifacting at 540p, changing it to 720p probably is just gonna make it try and pull more from the network.
Well, yeah, the guy had some
connection.
videos that you could watch of like.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now,
and they were pretty not great.
I mean, they were decent, but
nothing. It's not
nothing to write home
about. It's not a desirable
about.
thing that I would want to do. I mean, if I'm like away from my house and like, I don't have a laptop, so I couldn't even do it. But like, it's not something because I would just bring my handhelds and play that. It's not like I have to play.
Don't you have to be connected to the same network anyway?
I have no idea. The guy said in the article, he's like, yeah, if you're away and you really want to play your PS4, then this is a neat thing. And I don't know if this does or not.
I'll have to look into it a little bit more, but I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's a cool feature that they're doing that, but hopefully they can improve it to a point to where you can play decent games at a decent frame rate and at a decent screen resolution. But I don't know. Overall, it was just an interesting article to see that PlayStation just kind of like shoehorned it in too. There wasn't any like big announcement or anything like.
Well, I don't know. They probably knew it wasn't going to be that impressive, so they didn't want to like blow it up and then everyone go, wow, this kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of things kind of sucking, the proposed Rock Band PC version crowdfunding.
We're skipping ahead a little bit. Let's talk about Final Fantasy 15.
We can skip
Yeah,
around.
fuck you, Ryan. You're not allowed to fucking. You got to do it in order. In fucking order. You fucking.
Talking
twat.
about this PC version of Rock Band right here. I'm angered. No, I didn't really
I
care about a
didn't-
PC version of Rock Band. It doesn't really translate
I don't
to
know
a PC.
anyone who was excited for Rock Band besides Mike.
I had no idea
Or
there
you
was
want
going
a
to be a
Guitar
PC.
Hero?
I wasn't-
Yeah, you want.
I wasn't
Guitar
excited
Hero.
for Rock Band.
I'm excited for Rock Band since
I'm not. I
it
don't
allowed you
care.
to have all your previous songs that you had, and I have Rock Band, and it allowed you to
I
use
don't
all your
have Rock
old.
Band or any
instruments,
songs
so-
or the instruments or anything.
I had it on PS3, so it's just like I want to jump up.
Rock Band was
What-
literally only fun when we had like everyone together and we were all playing, and that never happens now. So
Yeah, see,
It's
that's the
worthless.
point, though. A PC version, no one gathers around a PC. Everyone gathers around a TV. If you have like
you,
a Steam
well, you can
box,
gather on mine. I got a TV. I got 4 monitors. It's fine.
I know, but like a normal setup, no one's got that.
I don't know.
It-
It's becoming more popular. I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know about think, but it might. It'll become more and more popular. I think to have a PC connected to a TV, and as like a media center.
But as of now, I mean, obviously people aren't at a point to where enough
Yeah,
of them
obviously,
have it.
since
If,
they didn't fund themselves, like even close, they were.
yeah, like supposedly, like most, I think they got like, where was it? Oh, they got $592,092 of that, like $792,000
Was from investors.
was from investors.
Yeah.
So they only got like
They got
$200,000
Yeah, $200,000
from
actual.
people who wanted the game.
Yeah. So no one
So-
wanted it.
No one wanted it. Yeah.
What do they do with that money that they like don't use? Do they have to refund it? Like if it doesn't get funded, or do they just keep it? I don't know how.
Depends
Kickstarter
on the
works. I've
it
never used
depends
it.
on the crowdfunding website. I think some websites allow you to get back, others don't. So I don't know.
I thought it was if they reach their goal that then the money is taken.
It depends on
Is
the
that
website.
how it
like
works?
I said,
Okay.
certain certain websites. I'm not. If I remember correctly, like GoFundMe will only take it if you get it like all done. But then there's other ones that like will take it no matter what.
Those of
Like
which are scams.
I think Kickstarter was one of the ones that takes it no matter what, and that's why GoFundMe
No,
got bigger.
I think Kickstarter refunds it if it doesn't get funded.
Did they start that? Because I remember that there was
I thought
one.
that's how it always. I thought that's how it always was.
It depends on
I
the
don't know,
project.
I've been on Kickstarter.org or whatever it is, literally twice.
Kickstarter. The last time I was on Kickstarter, it was to look at the guy who was making potato salads.
I think you sent me that, and then the other
I
time
love that.
was I said, I wonder if there's anything cool on this site. So I went on it, and there was nothing cool. So
It's
I
just all
don't
really
go
I don't
there.
know, that
ideas.
potato salad guy is pretty cool.
He's pretty sweet.
He
I
just
guess,
got a
if you're into
bunch
that
of
kind
money
stuff.
for wanting to make potato salad.
I mean,
It's not-
nothing else on the website is cool. Literally nothing else. But
I
that
mean-
potato salad guy is pretty cool.
Christian, now that you said that, speaking of people who lost a lot of money, there's a streamer, no, not streamer, sorry, a YouTuber who made a video for April Fools called, his name was Mick Skillet. He made a YouTube video for CSGO, and I don't know if you guys have played CSGO. I think, yeah, Mike
Mhm.
has a lot, but whenever you, or the skins, you can use trade-up contracts to trade up skins, and he basically made an April Fool's prank video saying that they implemented in the game that you could take the really expensive red skins, which are the rarest skins that aren't a knife, and you could trade them up to a knife. So people went out and bought a bunch of skins to try and get up to have enough red skins to get a knife, and it didn't work. And so basically some user, I think a Reddit user, he made like a Excel spreadsheet of like all the purchases that were made in that short period of time, and like $53,000 were like spent trying to get guns to get this knives, and it like shot up the price of every skin on the market too, because people were
Nice.
trying to like spam into getting skins to get these
Great
knives.
fucking job.
That's
So
actually
basi-
really funny.
Yeah, so basically it's been like 5 days of people like buying the shit out of every skin on CSGO and just getting trolled. And I mean,
That is actually pretty funny.
speaking of people who spent a lot of shit on worthless shit, a congressman spent $1,300 on Steam of campaign funds.
He says his
Okay.
son did it. That's what
He
said.
allegedly he spent it, but he says his son did. This
I
is
call
the
bullshit.
This is
Why?
the same man
This congressman fucking vapes.
Yeah, he's the same man who vaped on the floor of the House of Representatives or whatever. What a man.
Legend.
What a
I don't even know
legend.
if I spent
Yeah, I would
$1,300
call
on
this
Steam.
legend. What do you think he
on
bought?
68 different occasions, it said. Oh, what do you
Yeah,
think he
and
bought?
I mean,
What do you think he bought? I bet he bought.
Well,
I think he bought the
Nightcrawler,
Star Wars bundle.
Hoonicom. What did I just say? Why did I say it like that? Hoonipop. What are all the other great visual novels that are on?
He bought
Steam?
all of the DLC for Train Simulator.
Hatoful Boyfriend.
Hatoful Boyfriend.
Oh, wait, guys.
Sakura Spirit, Sakura Santa,
Sakura Swim Club or whatever it is.
The Sakura Suite.
No,
Yeah.
he spent
We'll call it the Sakura Suite.
$1,300.
Anyway.
He spent $1,300. He bought every single DLC for Train Simulator. And that's it.
That's it. That's on 68 different occasions.
Well, do you know how much DLC there is for Train Simulator?
A million.
Yeah. It's like $2,000 worth.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'm looking at like the log that they have of his purchases, and I mean, there's a lot of $5 ones, and there's like one for like $96.
He bought the special, the day one edition of Sakura Santa.
Yes, that's it. Oh, and like it looks like just a bunch of like those times where you just add to your wallet like $10 flat, or like you know what I'm saying. Like you can add like $25 to your wallet.
He
So I'm
plays
guessing he's
Planet Side
buying
too.
CS:GO guns or something, or like microtransactions.
He probably plays every pay-to-win game. He plays CS:GO. He plays Payday 2. He plays Planet Side 2. He plays EVE Online.
I mean, the one comment on this article is this is how he launders his big vape money. So
He's got to get that churro flavored vape.
the natural flavors.
The natural flavors.
I mean, that's
Mountain
how
Dew, churros.
you get the. That's
Okay,
how you
let's
get
see
the
what we got here.
authenticity.
I mean, it only says Steam games, but I see $5, $13.94, $5, $25, $9.18, $5, $50, $25, $5, $50, $25, two fives, 25, two fives, 25, 43.65, 23.14, $5, 907, and 56.01, and the list just goes on. I mean, a lot
The
of those
numbers, Mason.
A lot of those that are in exact increments, I think, are actually him adding to his Steam wallet. But
Yeah,
I
like I
feel like
said.
I feel like the other ones might be something else.
They're game purchases most likely, because usually you don't get them within tax. But I mean, like it's
But that's pretty funny.
It's just an interesting thing that that he can just waste $1,300 without anybody batting an eye until, oh wait, he spent $1,300.
Yeah,
But
on
like, is that
68
out of his
different
own
occasions.
pocket?
Well, no, didn't he say in the article? It says that he was gonna pay them back. Like he said he would, but he just never
But
did.
I'm seriously wondering,
The
is
purpose
this out?
what Christian?
Is this out of his own pocket or is this taxpayer money?
Oh no, it's
Campaign funds.
it's campaign funds.
Yeah, campaign funds.
What if he
And-
plans to do a giveaway?
He says he's trying to get them refunded, which
Yeah, That's,
Steam does not like that unless it's games.
unless you
2
hit
days.
their very
Finally.
specific.
Corruption I can get behind.
Yeah, but I mean it's interesting.
He's doing giveaways on 4chan.
Giveaways.
Just, trips.
CS:GO
get-
unboxing. His son was doing a CS:GO unboxing, and he was
He's
going to
just
give
like,
away some skins.
Someone gets trips and I'll release the game code.
Mm-hmm.
Vote for me and you get Necopara Volume 2.
But you know,
He's
and
got
like
my vote.
he's
Hey
got
man,
my
I need
vote.
the sequel. He's got my vote.
He's a better candidate than Trump for presidency. I say we vote him in.
I mean,
He spends $1,300 on vape and Steam games. There you go, dude.
When Trump
that
starts
Bernie
giving away anime
Sanders.
games, that's when he gets my vote.
It's true.
Spend $1,300 worth of Steam games. Probably going to give him away. Beat that, Bernie Sanders.
But you know what happens when you don't pay for a certain game called Quantum Break? You get an eye patch.
Yeah, you get an eye patch. Same with
Yeah.
apparently same with Alan
We
Wake
just have the king of
back in the
segues
days.
here.
Yeah, Alan Wake and Quantum Break are maybe the same people, but yeah, it's an interesting step in anti-piracy. I mean, it's not really an anti-piracy. It's just like you pirated it. Please don't do it. You can play the game, but here's a stupid eye patch. Haha.
But I mean, like,
And-
honestly, it doesn't break the game at all.
As
No,
far
it
as I-
ruins
as
the
far as I
mood.
know.
It
First of
ruins
all,
the
that's
mood of
dumb.
the game because
Not if you want to be a
ruins the mood of
pirate.
the game basically.
I mean, it's in like the vein of games like Game Dev Tycoon and what's some other ones. There's a few other ones that I remember, like some games allow you to get to a specific point, but then you just stop. Like Game Dev Tycoon you could play like a first like 20 minutes or so, and then your game company would fail because people pirated your game.
If you pirate Serious Sam 3, I think it is, a giant like
Yeah, that's one of
alien
those.
scorpion will follow you around and it can't be killed.
Yeah, there's stuff like that basically that make it so you can.
How do
and
they
then
guarantee that that's in the game? Like, is there
It-
just like a pirated copy that they? I don't know. How do they do that?
Well,
I
what
think
it is
that's actually-
if it detects it's pirated. So if you're a good
Oh,
enough
alright,
pirate
that
to
makes
make it like not detect, so like if it detects that it's not an authentic copy, then it's like, okay, here's an eye
There's
patch.
an eye patch for you.
Yeah, and I mean, Quantum Break
They
itself
should have
is
gone the whole.
interesting,
They
but
should have gone the whole 9 yards and just made your guy literally wear a pirate outfit.
literally be Blackbeard.
Yeah,
You're just
mean,
a pirate.
they could just grab the model from Black Flag.
Black Flag.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I mean, that's a good Blackbeard.
It's an interesting way to go about anti-piracy while other companies are trying to like go for super DRM. And I know there's that one software that I think Just Cause 3 has.
What, Denuvo?
That-
Or
yeah,
however it's
Denuvo, that
pronounced?
that took like hackers forever to break. I don't even know if they still have, but
As far as I know, they haven't still breaking Denuvo.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that
And
yet.
people are spending like thousands and thousands of dollars on software like Denuvo to try and keep people from pirating. While companies like the people who make Quantum Break are just like, let's give them an eye patch. Let's just screw with them in that capacity. I
The
mean,
problem with Denuvo is though it's very, very, very expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if you can't, I mean, they're probably assuming that people are just pirating, so they're just gonna have fun with them anyway. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? I mean, they
Mhm.
could have made it so that it's a bug break, like a game breaking thing, but they just were messing with them because they
Well-
probably expect it, and they probably know it's gonna happen. And
They-
know there's
eventually
nothing they
they're
can
gonna- they know it's eventually going to get broken, and it's just a matter of time, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. It's a very interesting train of thought.
do. Who was that one guy that made? I don't know. There was like a successful like mobile game or something, but then he got like super pissed when like it was like really heavily pirated. What game was that?
I don't remember, but I think I remember like this, like what you're talking about.
Oh my God, what's that game?
I don't know, but I mean, it happens a lot all over like Steam, anywhere. Basically, like people will make very successful things and just won't make won't make much money off of them.
Is it recent?
It's like fairly recent, like last year.
And here's like a game that's a good example of it. Punch Club. I bought that game, but like the majority of the copies were pirated, and these developers who made like a really good game. I liked it. It's a game about basically you make a fighter, you train him, and you send him to fight. You don't press any buttons, but you give him like a list of commands that he can do, and he'll like do them to the best of his ability. And it's kind of a cool fighting game style. And these people basically published how much in sales that they lost from being pirated, because they made like a thing to where they could see if it's been pirated, but they didn't make it break the game. And they saw that so many people pirated their game instead of buying it, and they lost out on a lot of revenue in that way.
I'm sure we'll figure out the name eventually,
I
and
think
then
it might have
at that
been
point
Punch
we'll just
Club
put
or
the name in the,
something very
in
similar.
the description.
Yeah, they said it had been pirated over 1 million times.
And
And
it might have
I'm-
been Punch Club.
Yeah, it was.
Checking
it was
news, I'm seeing that The Witness is also being heavily
It was the
pirated.
Witness. It was the Witness. That's what it was. I'm pretty sure.
Is that a mobile game?
I think it might be on mobile, but I know it's on
No,
PC.
it's not on mobile. I know it's on PlayStation, and but I'm pretty
Yes.
sure it was the Witness. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm remembering.
'Cause
But yeah,
I just typed in mobile game heavily pirated, and
What's the name of the guy who created it?
I'm not
Witness.
sure. He was some like very big indie developer, I think. But
Let's see. The Witness.
yeah, Jonathan Blow.
That doesn't
His
ring any
name is-
bells, but I'm like at least 75% sure that it was the
And
Witness.
it
that
is
I
on
remember.
iOS, Tom.
Okay. That's probably what it
but
was.
yeah.
There we go.
I just looked up the article on Punch Club, and yeah, it had been pirated over 1 million times, with only 300,000 legitimate owners, and 500,000 copies were pirated on mobile.
Now, can you imagine making a game though, and then seeing those numbers, and being like,
That would just make
"Damn."
it's just sad though, because you make a great game and then you just get it stolen.
Now you know how HBO feels. I mean, it's not a game, but Game of Thrones is the highest pirated series on television.
Yeah, but I feel
Someone
less
said
bad for
Christian.
HBO, just because they're a huge company. I don't know about
Everyone
huge,
look
but
at
they're
Christian
very
because
big.
he's never pirated anything ever.
I mean, he hasn't, so.
But I mean, yeah, and they also have like statistics on when they started they added language supports over time because it only came out with like English, I believe, and like English and like Swedish or something because it's a Swedish developer. But over time, when they added language support, it showed how much like how much more they were pirated. Like the Chinese didn't care that it didn't have Chinese support; they pirated it from day one. But like when they added Portuguese, Brazil like shot up in pirating. It's an interesting study that they sort of did with their game.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. That's just common sense that when something's available in a language, people like, if it's not available in your language, you don't have any interest in it because you can't understand it.
Except the Chinese, they don't care. They'll
Except
pirate
the
it
Chinese,
anyway.
they don't care. Those crafty people will figure it out.
I mean, yeah, they'll just pop a label on it, say "Made in China" right there.
Or they'll make some shitty knockoff.
Or both.
I mean, speaking of shitty knockoffs, did you guys see the Rogue One trailer today?
Is that a shitty knockoff? I actually kind of like that
No,
trailer.
it's actually
I
Star
thought it
Wars.
looked good.
It's
Yeah.
a series.
Oh, we
No.
had an audio glitch.
It's
We
just
have
like
to
a side movie.
Yeah, no, it's just, well, I don't know if it's not really a spin-off. It tells the tale of figuring out getting the plans, right?
The plans for the
Yeah.
Death
Yeah.
Star, yeah.
It talks about getting the plans to destroy the first
Well,
Death
it
Star.
doesn't talk about
Do
it.
you
It
know
shows
how
it.
many Bothans died to make that trailer, though?
Like 4?
I
you
mean, I mean,
I don't know what
Forrest
a Bothan is to
Whitaker.
start.
Forrest Whitaker is one with the Force. He can see in 2 places at once. I'm a bad person.
What about-
Anyway,
What about fun Asian Ninja Man? That was my favorite.
oh yeah,
part of the
dude.
trailer.
Like, why does he have a sword, like a spear? It's useless against the
Why
blaster.
did they throw like a? Why did they put like a Jet Li
Look,
character
this is just-
in their
this is
in the
just
Star
filling-
Wars movie?
Do you really think Disney actually gives a shit about this movie? This is just filling time so they can make their second
Their-
episode in the trilogy.
And how about that
Episode 8.
female lead? Everyone hates women, right? I know I hate women.
I mean, I really don't
You said
care.
it, not me.
It's interesting that they chose another woman lead again, but I mean,
I don't know.
doesn't really.
Thinking about it from their perspective, they can just cash in on another demographic because they already know Star Wars fans are going to go see it. So they have if they target a different demographic, then they got that demographic too.
But you know
do you
who
think
won't go see
do you
it?
think they put as much effort into this one as they did for the episode 7?
Are you implying they
I
put
mean,
that much effort in Episode 7?
J.J.
They
Abrams
literally
didn't
were just like,
direct
what
it, I
happens
know.
in Episode 5 or 4? Let's
4.
do that, but slightly different.
I mean, do you think
put-
they'll have as much of a budget for Rogue One as they did?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Episode 7.
Oh, Rogue One. Yeah, probably around there.
I feel
They
like
got-
it might have less because they might be funneling money into episode 8.
I feel like they
Look,
already
Disney,
have money.
Disney
Or-
is Disney's got the money to fund both with that much amount of money.
But-
It don't matter.
Do you think they're going to use the profits from Rogue One to fuel either episode 8 or 9?
Maybe. I mean, obviously,
Or that Han
they're gonna.
Solo
They use the
movie
funds from
everybody's
everything to
talking
fund
about?
anything. It's a business. You move around funds, shift them around. I mean, Disney owns Maker, which owns Polaris, and they own PewDiePie, and it's
Hilarious,
everywhere.
by the way.
I'm sorry. And Maker owns PewDiePie's network, and it's crazy. They're rolling in cash. It's Disney. What do you expect? They also own Marvel, Marvel's rolling in cash. Civil War is going to be coming out. They're going to be rolling in more cash. If they can fund...
While we're talking about superheroes and movies, while we're on the topic, let's talk about Batman versus Superman, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's seen it here. So I just want to say it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. It like most things on the internet, it got like, I guess, anti-hype. And it was just talked up oh, it's so terrible, it's so bad. It really wasn't that bad.
So it lowered your expectations, and then when you actually saw it, it wasn't as bad.
Not necessarily. I don't know if it lowered my expectations.
Because I feel like that's actually like you said, anti-hype culture.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it lowered my expectations any, because I didn't really go in there with any expectations besides it's a superhero movie. But besides being really slow in the beginning, I don't know about slow, but I guess it was slow.
Not as much action.
There wasn't. Yeah, I'm thinking slow as in plot wise, not necessarily action, but it is a superhero
Not
movie,
much is
so
happening in the first third.
But stuff happens, but it's all over the place and it's a little bit hard to follow. So but that doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that. But
I'm usually easy.
It did seem like they were kind of just throwing stuff in, just trying to get it to get the movie going. But once it got going, it was pretty cool. And there was a scene where Batman was fighting a bunch of dudes in a building. It was just Batman, and he was taking some dudes out, and it actually felt really cool. I was like, wow, dude, this is kind of fucking cool.
Well, then
Batman,
I'll probably see that next week.
He seemed like a badass.
He
Batman
also murdered people, though.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get that. I was like, why is Batman just killing people? Not even indirectly. He just literally murdered people. He shot them down and ran them over and just killed them. He just killed a bunch of people. I was like, why is this happening?
That's kind of against Batman's moral compass there.
Other than the fact that he completely breaks the rules of Batman, how is Affleck as Batman?
I liked him. He was pretty good. I mean, to be honest, there wasn't much of Batman just being Batman. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense. But I feel like there wasn't really a way to get a really good grasp on him as a character, just because it was so we're trying to get this movie going and everything.
Did they skip the origin story?
No, they covered it in the beginning really quickly.
Fuck, man.
They really quickly covered it. I don't know about quickly. It was the first,
just kind of here's what happened.
Actually,
a really quick thing.
The parts of the movie that were slow, they had some really nice cinematography in them. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty nice looking.
As a film major, I'm obligated to check it out.
They got some nice slow motion shots. Everything was shot really well. It felt really nice. It looked really clean. It was really. I liked it.
I mean, just because you liked it doesn't mean the movie was successful, though.
No.
I just linked an article.
I'm probably going to get a bunch of people shitting on me, and by that I mean all 15 of our viewers.
Anyways, I just linked an article. You guys can look at it, but it's in the document. Anyways, the movie was supposedly doing bad enough to where it's stalling their future plans for movies. It had a really profitable first week, but after that first week, it just dropped like a brick. It was bad. I think the first week.
DC's DC movies in general, or who's being
WB movies, including DC movies in general, are going to be getting cutbacks, and they're cutting back on their whole strategy.
I can already tell you that Suicide Squad doesn't interest me that much. It doesn't.
I'm more interested in Suicide Squad than I was for Batman vs Superman. To be honest,
Suicide Squad.
I was so excited for Batman vs Superman when all that shit first came out.
Initially Batman vs Superman didn't interest me, but I read someone saying that it was more of a, I don't know, the way it was is more the way it is, and it interested me more just because of the controversy and because it's not just a super typical superhero movie, but which it turned out to be towards the end, but it was still pretty well done and it kept me interested. But superhero movies don't interest me that much anymore. Suicide Squad probably interests me more than Civil War, just because it's not a different take on the superheroes because they're all bad guys, right? So I don't know, that interests me more than just superheroes being superheroes. Oh no, they fight.
But how did you Jesse Eisenberg as Alexander Luthor.
I thought his performance was more of a Joker. He was more of a Joker.
Yeah, I know.
Than
He was trying to be Joker the whole movie.
like
Supposedly.
it wasn't bad. Like he wasn't poorly acting. It's just it was like this is Lex Luthor. All right, he's a different Lex Luthor.
It wasn't Lex Luthor though. It was Alex.
Yeah, I know,
Luthor.
but he's Lex Luthor, and
It's his son, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
supposed to be that character.
like
And I mean,
it wasn't poorly done. He did pretty well with it. And since they didn't have a Joker in the movie, it didn't conflict with anything.
but
Speaking of things
Jared
we're
Leto is
interested
the
in,
Joker.
Speaking of things we're interested in, the games we played this week.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I haven't really played anything. I played The Witcher briefly.
I beat The Witcher.
Congratulations. Are you excited for their new DLC?
I mean, yeah, I beat the DLC too. The one that's already out, the
No,
Hearts
but-
and Stone.
Yeah, the Iron and Wine, or I don't know what it is. Blood and
The
Wine.
Hearts and Stone was really cool. It had some like interesting mechanics, like you get possessed and you walk around as the guy you're possessed by for a while, and so you have like an opportunity to act differently than Gerald of Riverwood would normally do. But yeah,
Sure.
like and there's like a game that sort of happens towards the end. I don't really want to spoil it, but it was cool. I liked it.
What, you mean they make you
And-
play Gwent?
No, I hate that horrible game.
Everyone's
but-
favorite card game?
It's like you're. I don't really want to spoil it. It's sort of a spoiler. Towards the end, there's like a timed game thing that you have to go through at the end that I was really like. It was really cool.
I don't know.
Basically.
I don't know if I'll ever even get through that game. I don't tend to beat games because I'm a little shitter. But I don't know. I put a few hours into it here and there. I enjoy the game. Combat's not my favorite, but it looks really good. It has pretty good acting for a video game at least. It's fun to play. It's got a really nice world that's fun to explore. One of my favorite things actually is basically what I want to be doing because I want to level up and get stronger before I go fight some more stuff. But just visiting all the question marks, it's actually kind of fun. Except I got kind of mad because I started going to all of them over by like Novigrad, and they all ended up being the what are those little dudes that run around and they jump at you? I forgot what they're called, but there was just like a bunch of the
Lurker
nests.
or the what are they called? Yeah, drowners.
No,
Are they
not
those?
drowners. But it was just a
Neckers?
bunch of neckers. It was just a bunch of necker nests, and I was like, all right, I'm getting sick of these neckers. So I stopped doing that and went to do another quest. But I enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I enjoy the fantasy setting. I just enjoy it. It's a fun game. It's really good. I think it deserved to be Game of the Year for last year.
I mean, I just sort of spend a lot of my time in that game doing Witcher contracts because I just love going around and just killing the giant monsters. And basically, when I got to the boss fight at the end of the main campaign, I was overpowered. Like I was overleveled for it, and I had been upgrading my weapons, making sure I had the best gear. And my guy looked really weird because basically I looked like a knight from the mid-century because I had some cuirass on that was full body. But it was interesting and a fun game. And I mean, speaking of another game that Tom didn't beat, The Forest.
Yeah.
Me
Except
and Mike
it's not
and Tom
really,
played
you
it.
can't beat it yet because it's not done.
Well, I
I was
mean,
gonna say, speaking of fun games, but that works too.
you can get to the new part where you can't get to basically, because beforehand you could get to that bottom of the sinkhole, and then you couldn't go down the water hole through the sinkhole basically. At the bottom of the sinkhole, there's this small hole that's full of water that you could just go down, and then you're in a new a whole new cave basically. I mean, I got through there. It's basically the same game. They added a few new things like a catapult that we really didn't check out, but I guess you can throw multiple items with it, and they added some new traps and stuff. But I mean, overall, the game still looks like it's going to be really fun when it comes out.
So was there anything in that new cave aside from
There was
that metal door?
there was two bosses, a bunch of the little cannibal guys, and then you just had to climb up a wall, do some specific stuff, and then you get to the end and there's it starts becoming less and less of a cave, and you start seeing metal around you, and then you just see the door, and it's some metal lab looking door that looks like you're gonna at least have some semi-civilized place that you're gonna go to whether it be like a lab or maybe a vault, because it kind of gave me like a vault feel, but not like a
Sounds
Fallout type
awesome.
vault, but maybe.
Well,
look-
we're anticipating that, but we're gonna have to end for this time, and hopefully we're gonna want to start releasing Grommet games, or not Grommet games, but GROMcast twice a week. Hopefully, I hope to get one up on Tuesday and Thursday. So this one's gonna go up on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, hopefully there'll be another one up. And we'll see you next time. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.